Do you play piano ever to come up with ideas?
I'm a truly rotten piano player. But, I mean, High Hopes I wrote on the piano, Boat Lies Waiting I wrote on the piano, In Any Tongue I wrote on the piano. I mean, I've written quite a few songs with the piano, but they are very, very simple.
I've also seen you play drums, and I've seen videos of you playing drums.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever come up with grooves on the drums and think of it that way? Or program a drum part?
Well, I program drum parts, and I think of what it should be, and I put a guide in. Yeah, I'm quite definite and specific about how those things should be. I mean, I played drums on Fat Old Son on the record originally in '69, and on Obscured by Clouds, the track, I think I played. So I've always loved drumming, but again, don't want to put myself down too much, but my timing on drums mostly isn't usable. I mean, I'm certainly not Steve Gadd. I think I'm doing something perfectly, and you listen afterwards and it's just pulling and pushing, and you're going, no, I'm just not a drummer. But a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I have drumming ideas that are quite good. Sorrow, again, I played the drums on, but I played it on a pad kit. And then we added samples later. And we shunted it all onto the bar by quantized. We quantized it. That's the word I was searching for. So that...
It's interesting because on last night, Fat Old Son and Sorrow are two songs that you play at your show. And the Sorrow, like the tone, your guitar tone during the solo, that's your big muff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That thing sounds so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really...
The big muff is the killer distortion. It's not subtle.
No, it's not subtle at all.
It's raw power. It feels like it's got a compressor built in, but it hasn't. But it's just the way it seems to work. It's a sort of sound that when you get it going, you feel on stage like you could just lean back, and the sound coming from behind you would prevent you from falling over backwards.
I'd like to take a second to talk to you about this channel. This is actually Rick Beato 2. I've had it since the beginning of my main channel, and many of you are not subscribed. As a matter of fact, 87% of the people that watch this channel regularly are not subscribed. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button on this channel and on my main channel. This will help me get even more of my dream guests and help continue to grow both channels. Thank you.
How loud is your stage sound?
Most of the set, it's certainly in the bounds of reason.
I mean, there's a real incredible dynamic range from song to song.
Yeah.
There's some songs where you play really quietly, and then you'll increase your level as the intensity goes up. But do you ever use compression with your distortion sounds?
Yeah, nearly all of the time.
Okay, I was going to say.
Not with a big muff.
Yeah.
But with the tube driver things, which are lovely little.
Yeah, talk about those. You've had those for a long time.
I've had those fused, these R.K. Butler tube drivers, and a lot of people do the driver first and the compressor afterwards. I do it the other way around, and I compress the sound going into the driver usually, and I've got 2 or 3 compressors and 2 or 3 tube drivers, and in various different combinations for these songs, like the Black Cat 5 AM is a tube driver. It's my #1 tube driver with a compressor. On the lowest setting, I can get the tube driver we work all this time to get the cleanest, most pure sound going through these amplifiers. You want these perfect, pure amplifiers, and then you put artificial distortion into the line on nearly everything you do to some extent. So tube driver #1 is the most subtle, tube driver #3 is the least subtle.
And do you use the different tube drivers for different guitars typically, or will you just, if you want more gain, you'll just use one, or do you kind of have them set up for the Strat or the Les Paul, whatever you're playing?
No, just set up for a general thing for any guitar.
You came up with what I consider to be the most famous chord in rock history on a Shine On.
Technically speaking, arpeggio, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
How did you come up with that chord?
I was in a rehearsal room in King's Cross in London. The four of us, the band Pink Floyd. You play something, you're doing all sorts of little things, and that one comes out, and you're something in your brain goes, there's something to that. So you do it again, and you do it again, and after a while, other people in the room stop. You can see this thing on people's faces, this awakening moment when people are going, there's a possibility here, there's something here, and that happened. There are other moments where that has happened, but it was a very clear moment. And basically, the whole of Shine On grew out of that moment.
So David, I've coined a term which I call the Gilmour effect. And the Gilmour effect is not a guitar thing, it's not a pedal. It's when I make a video with any guitar player, an interview, no matter who it is, there's always hundreds of comments about how people prefer your playing to whoever it is, no matter who it is. Well, I prefer David Gilmour's playing, and I call that the Gilmour effect.
Maybe they should keep it to themselves on those occasions. I mean, it's lovely, thank you. I mean,
it's just what they're talking about is the lyrical playing.
Yeah, I wasn't gifted with enormous speed on the guitar, and there were years when I was younger when I thought I could get that if I practiced enough, but just wasn't ever really going to happen. And some of the influences on me, like even the Shadows back in the 60s, Hank just playing a tune.
Yeah.
And I think I come from there, really. I just want to play a nice tune. Obviously, when you're racked up to 150 dBs and you're leaning against that wall of sound on stage, the tunes change a bit.